Lorefest was an opportunity to have our students in the performance studies program engage with their own folklore and the folklore of the Bryan-College Station area, especially the Brazos Valley.
Welcome to Thursday Night Scary Time Radio.
And explore often sort of spooky, strange stories, but usually cross-culturally.
He settled in his seat and inserted the key into the ignition. Nothing. He turned the key again, and again, and again. Wait! All he could see was shattered glass over his dash, and a cloaked figure crouched in the place of where his windshield once was.
To learn more about their atmosphere and their environment, and often their own family histories.
Its cat-like legs and horrifying color.
Hi, I'm Emily Pritchard.
And I'm Jack Curry.
And we are the folktale tellers of the story of El Lago Salado, a Texas folktale.
Grandson, it's time to get you down to bed.
Can I have a bedtime story?
How about a folktale?
A folktale, Grandpa? I'm not a baby. I want a scary story.
You think folktales aren't scary?
No.
You think they're stupid?
Yes.
Folktales aren't stupid.
And we have turned it into a sort of play, focusing on one of the characters. The grandpa that appears as in our play is the same old man who appears in our story and tells the boys to not go to the lake. And the lake at the center of our story has this giant gaping hole at the bottom that when they get people to dive into it, they find themselves in a cave of wonders where they see catfish the size of men and all sorts of marine life. And it was really cool to be able to research this story. We actually didn't find a lot online about this story, as Jack can attest.
There's like 2 retellings of this story online, and we ended up interviewing it's like a geology professor, and he was able to give us some insight because we found like no other information about this. It's like some small South Texas folk story, but it was really fun to kind of, there's only so much to go off of, so we got to have like our own spin on it. So it was really fun being able to have like our own version of the story, and yeah.
So it was really special to be able to perform here tonight, and then also going to be having an additional performance because this is likely one of the only times the story of El Lago Salado has ever been performed. Unlike stories of La Llorona or some of the other Texas folk tales, the Lady of the Lake is of course a retelling of The Woman in White. No hate. But the El Lago Salado was just witnessed as one of probably the first times it's ever been recorded live before an audience and retold. Yeah.
Yeah. Come to Lorefest.
Come to Lorefest.
We gave them the tools they needed to fulfill the ideas, to realize the things they had imagined once they'd done their research and seen these creative stories. Then they had their own spin on it, which is the fun part, I think, for us. And that was the main thing that we did. We were the facilitators.
Howdy, my name is Kaza Chaudhary, and right now we are at the Lorefest Film Festival, where a bunch of students have made silent films, and we have made basically soundtracks to them using our instruments and like our music knowledge.
Hi, my name is Jaden Driver. I am a senior sociology major, philosophy minor, and youth development minor. This experience has been really fun. I've been in performance classes before, but I've never had one where I've been required to come out to Bryan. I think it's really cool to bring kids to Bryan, bring students to Bryan, because you don't do that often. A lot of people go to school here and graduate without ever stepping foot in Bryan. So I think it's pretty cool. I'm a Bryan native, born and raised here. But it's a pretty cool experience. Me and my group members, we're just a really random mix of people. So just kind of going to class and being forced to get creative with this really random group of people. We had a lot of different ideas going, a lot of laughs. It was pretty cool. I would definitely do it again, and I would recommend it.
The goal worked, and that is to say they researched local material, they engaged with local material, and they injected their own take into the local material, meaning they are now part of the local material. And that was the whole idea, was how, having students and the community kind of merge, blur some lines, and I feel like that worked tremendously well.
Well, I went to all 3 nights, and it was really great to see the students both as performers and as an audience. They were really supportive of each other. It was great to see the business owners really light up to seeing students in their space, especially because we were at capacity. It was just great.
Hi, my name is Miriam.
I'm Peter. I'm Daniel.
And we had the story of the Black-Eyed Children, and so what we decided to do was a puppet show of a reenactment of this actual scene that happened, which is supposed to be a true story of Brian Bethel's encounter with the Black-Eyed Children, but we added our own elements to it by adding a fake backstory and then kind of like a fake ending.
I will say, with overall this class altogether and this performance thing, has been very unique. I've never been able to have an opportunity like this inside Texas A&M in a class where it's not just a class itself. This is an experience, and getting people together to get to know each other outside of class, and connect and learn things about the university, but not also Texas itself, and just history about lore stuff, Halloween stuff. It makes it all interesting, combining all that together into one thing.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like this is not a usual experience that you have in your other classes, especially since a lot of us are different majors. I'm a bio major, I know Peter's a poli-sci major, and Daniel's a chem major. So we all have never really had to do performance things, but this gives us an outlet to be able to apply our more creative side.
News came from the big city that the divers had been found 100 miles away in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, I would say Lorefest is basically College Station's Halloween festival equivalent. So if you're into spooky things, getting out here, seeing local artists, local films, local music acts, then Lorefest is a great place to come out and just experience the spooky Halloween season and get to see all the products that the A&M Perf department has been creating this whole time.
I'm Victoria, a director and writer from the UK. And I've been involved with Lorefest because they have been turning their urban legends, their ghost stories, and their folk tales into puppetry. Puppetry is something that I'm really passionate about. When I was doing my master's, I studied puppetry and puppet making, and so I brought those skills here to work with the students. We ran a workshop where I was teaching the 3 rules of puppetry. That's how you can bring anything to life, make the inanimate animate. So I did that with all the students. It was 200 or so students. And then that inspired some of them to make their own puppets, which we performed in a walkabout at this venue and next door. It was so wonderful to see students who have never considered puppetry at all anything more than a children's form of entertainment, and see the transformation in them and the passion into making something with their hands, gaining new skills, and then performing for people. I had so much fun, and I hope that I'll get to do it again at next year's Lorefest.
Have all
look forward to what it's going to become over the next year or 3 years or 5 years. We're hoping to make this an annual event, and in doing so, we're probably not going to repeat the same thing over and over again. There might be some staple elements, things like that, but we've already got different things planned. For next time, we already have interest from other areas of our school and other areas of the university that want to get engaged. Other community members have expressed interest as well, and so that's just going to provide us with different outlets of creative expression to engage with the folklore.
One of the areas that we didn't get to this year that I'm excited about is we've been gathering local folk songs from Rio Grande Valley and Brazos Valley area, and I would love to have a slate of bands bringing their own folklore tales, but also covering these songs from sometimes 120 years ago, but also more recent fare from psychobilly, which is something that Dr. Katari studies, which is focused on the macabre and like zombie romance and subjects like this. There's actually a pretty strong scene of that in Texas. So I would love to get bands together specifically to musically recreate these stories.
What I was kind of expecting coming in was for it to just have kind of like a normal academic expectation of people showing up because they have to, and the energy was nothing of the sorts, and that really shocked me in a good way. I was really excited by that. I think Professor Connor and Professor Campbell really built a great balance of expectation for the students in terms of expectation to attend, but expectation to enjoy, and that was really amazing, and it's rare. You don't see that all the time when you go to events.